It's incredibly dystopian how there's going to be some weirdo Oakland city worker who is going to pop up out of the bushes to give you a ticket if you park your car illegally for 15 minutes. But nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to be around when a thug is driving a stolen car 60 miles per hour in a 25 zone. Nobody's going to show up when they try to rob your business or when an old lady gets beat up. What is up? My name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back. This, of course, is the epicenter for all of your current and captivating coastal elite chaos. So please hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, leave a comment or two, share this with a friend. Let's go. Here are a few stories from my favorite news network ever, KTVU, Fox 2 News. Well, actually, I have to take that back. I think ABC7 Bay Area, the Disney-owned news network, is my favorite, with their not even remotely believable agenda-driving stories about LGBTQ plus kids or whatever, and their laundry list of angry alphabet mob reporters who wouldn't be able to report the weather without mentioning how an LGBTQ cloud was targeted by the far right. But anyways, burglars hit nearly entire block of Oakland businesses Thanksgiving Eve. And keep in mind, these stories are a dime a dozen. You can find something like this out of the Bay Area or out of almost any major city on any day of the week.
And after visiting those shops earlier today, Zach?
Yeah, Amber, and all four of them small businesses. So the financial hit they had to take on Thanksgiving Eve of all days, really just a tough pill for them to swallow. And as you mentioned, they say they have asked the city for help. They're asking for that help once again, calling on the city to bring more officers to their...
Okay, so he mentions that most of these are small businesses. So after the city, the powers that be, tried to destroy small businesses with crazy lockdowns, they can't keep the crime under control because they want these businesses to go under, obviously to drive in their long-term agenda of communism.
Their streets.
So this is where they went through the burglars.
Kayako Akabori showing us the path thieves took to turn her Oakland shop upside down this week.
They ripped the alarm panel off the wall to try to get it to stop.
Umami Mart, which specializes in Japanese products, and three other businesses on our Broadway block, all burglarized in the city's Temescal neighborhood Thanksgiving Eve.
Without the help of and the support of the city council and the city, I think it's taking a real toll on local businesses and small business owners and entrepreneurs.
In most cases, the thieves only making off with small amounts of cash, but the damage left behind, costly.
It's very frustrating, sad.
Cal Mahat, who owns restaurant Cloven Hoof 3 doors down, showing us surveillance video of burglars busting his lock after trying unsuccessfully to smash through a storefront window.
In a year, I think they broke my spot for like 3 or 4 times.
Like Umami Mart, his transactions mostly cashless, but the damage?
Thousands of dollars, which we couldn't even claim for insurance.
We're hearing that a lot of insurance, property insurance actually are dropping in businesses because of all of these claims.
That's crazy. So she mentions that insurance companies are dropping businesses because there's so many claims. And I've actually heard similar stories with personal car insurance. Like car insurance companies are like, no, we're not really going to do this anymore. And if you're lucky enough to pay some crazy astronomical through the roof insurance rate to have your car insured in the Bay Area, you will still have to wait weeks, if not months, because of the backlog caused by nonstop break-ins, stolen cars, found cars that are damaged. It's an absolute mess, to put it nicely.
Next door, restaurants Tenny Kitchen and Amon Cafe also targeted, the owner too upset to speak on camera. Meantime, Umami Mart's other neighbor, Copper Spoon, shutting up shop for good last month.
They just had it with all the break-ins this year.
After months of pleading with the city for help, business owners now not sure what to do next, admittedly feeling helpless.
But we need to fix that.
And another big concern being expressed by those business owners, the uptick in car break-ins. They've seen some of those car break-ins happening right in front of their stores in broad daylights. That's led to less foot traffic, less sales, and with less sales, they say they've had just less money to pay for those burglary costs. Amber?
Zach, hopefully those business owners will get some help.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get some help. Who's going to do it? Who is going to help these business owners? You have the mayor of Oakland, who is quite obviously a diversity hire. She is a puppet. Even her car was broken into outside of a movie theater in Oakland, and you expect her to do something about it? And they even mention in this report that these thugs aren't even getting away with much money. A lot of what they're doing isn't even profitable. They're just destroying things for the laughs at this point. And while I constantly, we all talk about how, fake news and it's hyperbolic, I would venture to say that Oakland and San Francisco, of course, is still worse than even the news projects, right? There's tent cities everywhere. There's shanty towns along the highways, under the overpasses. They're popping up all over the place. It literally looks like the third world, or it looks like what I would imagine the third world might look like. And while these words, these phrases like dystopian and third world are often overused, that's exactly what it is. It's incredibly dystopian how there's going to be some weirdo Oakland city worker who is going to pop up out of the bushes to give you a ticket if you park your car illegally for 15 minutes. But nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to be around when a thug is driving a stolen car 60 miles per hour in a 25 zone. Nobody's going to show up when they try to rob your business or when an old lady gets beat up. And here's another one. It's absolutely deplorable. East Oakland businesses fed up with repeat blight, homelessness, and crime.
KTVU's Brooks Strohs joins us now as the business community calls for a permanent cleanup. Brooks.
Well, guys, for weeks I've been on email chains and the back and forth between those community members and Oakland city leaders. The messages either go unanswered or get passed between city departments and supervisors. While Oakland tells me this area had a deep cleaning last year, barriers and deterrents have since been removed. The trouble and blight is now back.
It's absolutely deplorable.
The problem's unparalleled.
Okay, so right up front and center in the title of the article, it's absolutely deplorable. I mean, that's interesting. Where have we heard that before? And then he says, the reporter here has the nerve to say, well, it was cleaned up last year, but it's back now. I mean, this is completely despicable.
Main Street permeate every corner and every business.
When all this got worse, we changed our hours to come in earlier and leave earlier before it gets dark for both our employees and our customers.
Because after
this man has literally changed the hours of his business to keep his employees safe. It does get a little bit darker than that, but this is bad.
hours, cameras capture dirty deeds, from a pickup truck camper getting tied to a pole then dumped and ditched, to gunfire erupting in the middle of the street, even armed robberies and attempted carjacking.
We've witnessed everything from exploding meth labs to gunfights in the streets to the wholesale stripping of vehicles, of catalytic converters, resale of stolen goods, weapons, and drugs, without any abatement.
Blaming the city of Oakland, the business community here is frustrated, so they're organizing and telling us the saga has gone on for too long, several years.
It's sort of, in effect, a game of whack-a-mole as opposed to a concerted effort to strategically improve the area. I've somewhat given up.
Because they say calls, emails, and pleas for help don't permanently change the state of the streets.
And there you have it. He says, I've somewhat given up, right? The criminal element is clearly in charge. And at this point, they are daring you to do something about it. Just like the migrant takeover in New York City. They want to be there, drinking, partying, popping out anchor babies, illegally delivering food on illegally rented scooters, lashing out at the sight of an iPhone, anybody attempting to document their crimes. They are in charge now. They are in complete control, and the politicians in these places are going to pretend they want to stop it, but obviously they're not. That ship sailed years ago. There's even that clip from Channel 5 where he has a San Francisco thug with his face blurred out saying, "Oh, no, we're not worried about consequences. San Francisco doesn't even believe in crime anymore."
One time we went to the Gucci store, RP, my nigga Fury, man, FBA, man. We went to Union Fury, man.
Search continues this morning for the gunman who robbed another high-end designer store in San Francisco's Union Square.
So I stole two $2,000 purses. He stole a tracksuit, alarms, and everything. My nigga Fury stole a couple things too, and he got alarms all through the Gucci tracksuit walking in.
Beeping, bro.
Bam, 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 and we're just everywhere we walk, bro, in the store beeping. The motherfuckers knew we was up to no good. By the time they come up, like, "Sir, you need any help?" Nah, I just need help to show me where the exit's at now. I'm about done here. We walked out with like $10,000-$15,000 worth of shit, bro.
Are you guys worried about consequences like from the police out here?
What? San Francisco doesn't believe in crime. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shout out the DA though. Oh, shout out London Breed too. Shout out London Breed.
And once the arrests are made, we are hopeful that our DA will prosecute.
I did time in San Francisco, but never like stayed more than like a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying?
We've been doing consequences since juvenile hall. Graduated to prison.
Most definitely.
Still out here, same shit, same environment.
I think they don't give a fuck.
Do you think that's changing the way that like businesses decide to move their shit here?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why they're all closing down on Market.
Since the start of the year, the city has seen the exit of more than a dozen national retailers from the downtown area.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel bad about that? Or?
Absolutely not. Welcome to the Bay. Straight up. Welcome to the Bay, bro.
Welcome to the city. You know
and I hope when you executives come over here to finalize the paperwork to sign to close the store, your shit gets splashed, my nigga. Welcome to the Bay Area.
And can you blame him? I mean, I guess you can blame him. You should blame him. But he's playing the game, and right now, they're still winning.
They don't have an answer. And putting a Band-Aid on a wound that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it's just gotten worse. And more now it's the crime.
Drug use in plain sight, bullets flying in broad daylight, and lots of trash and blight.
Nowadays, I wouldn't even allow my grandkids to go around our block on their bikes. They just can't.
Nearby neighbors say they're living in fear. Oakland has cleared the encampments before and put in some large cement barricades, but the RVs, tents, and cars come back.
I have to park blocks away, then making myself in the dark, walk in the dark because there's no parking because either they're cinder blocks or encampments.
While Oakland tries to keep up with cleaning and clearing, this community is calling for sweeping permanent changes.
Figure out a way to help your homeless.
All in the name of safety and security for them and the taxpayers, demanding the city step up.
They need to find a solution, like a solution now. We're fed up. Enough is enough.
And just within the last hour, the city of Oakland responded with a statement saying in part the city recognizes and respects the community's frustrations and concerns with the conditions at this location. This location is one of more than 1,300 encampments in the city that the city is continuing to manage. Well, we are not always able to respond as timely as we would like with so many locations to prioritize. We still encourage residents to report maintenance issues to us by contacting Oakland 311. Now, the city has not provided a timeline of when that area may get some cleanup attention. In the studio, Brooks DeRose, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Yeah. Okay, so the city issued a little word salad response there, basically saying, oh, well, there's too much. There's really, there's too much blight. There's too much trash. There's too much crime. There's really not much we can do about it, so good luck. That's basically what they said. And we're at the point now where the retail theft is through the roof, the smash and grabs, the robberies, all that stuff. So how many people now are legitimately asking themselves, why the hell am I standing here in a grocery store line to pay an outrageous price for some food when clearly it's a free-for-all? This is wild, wild west insanity. And then he also says, well, or the lady in the report says, the city needs to find a solution. Well, you know what? You're living it. It works for them. What works for the political establishment and what works for the residents of the city could not be any different. And then the reporter says, well, the city hasn't provided a timeline for cleanup. Well, why would they? Anything they say would be a lie anyways. It's Oakland, where they have sideshows several nights out of the week, what some might call street takeovers. And as a Bay Area native, I could never really understand why ruining your own car was fun. But I guess if the cars are stolen, that's a different thing. But They also claim that one of the business owners suggested basically a city-sanctioned shantytown for RVs, which I don't think would work, but whatever. Go ahead and give it a try. And you know what you should do is put a big, beautiful wall around the whole thing.